Good afternoon, my dear students. Once again, welcome back to the new episode of Geography of 10th Standard. And I hope all are fine and take care. Okay, so let us start our class. My dear students, today we are focusing on the second chapter of Geography, that is India, India, the physiography. Okay, so the word physiography means the scientific and systematic study of the physical features of a region, that is known as physiography. Okay, so in India we can say different geographical features are there, different geographic features or reliefs are there, such as we can see when we go to the northern part of India. On the northern part of India we can see the great Himalayas. Okay, including Mount Everest is also located in the northern Himalayas. And just down to the northern Himalayas we can see the great plain regions of India. Okay, these great plain regions of India are very fertile regions. Okay, and it is the one of the best place for the agriculture in India. Okay, because of the presence of plenty of rivers, and these rivers makes the plain region very fertile. Okay, and the third we can see the desert region. In the west we can see, when we move to the west part of India, we can see the great Indian desert. Its name is Thar Desert. Okay, and next we can see the peninsular plateau. In the southern part of India we can see the peninsular plateau. Majority part of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, southern part of Maharashtra are coming under the category of southern plateau region. Okay, and next we can see the coastal plains. Okay, from the Gujarat to Kanyakumari, and from Kanyakumari to Kolkata you can see the coastal regions. You know, especially our South India is a peninsula. Okay, three side it is covered by water. You know, in the western side it is Arabian Sea, in the south it is Indian Ocean, and in the east it is Bay of Bengal. Okay, so India has a high lengthy region of coastal plains. Okay, as the name shows, these plains are very flat in shape, and we can see these areas are also fertile because of the presence of water on three sides. Okay, and the sixth one is the great islands of India. Okay, in the Arabian Sea we can see the Lakshadweep, and in the Bay of Bengal we can see Andaman and Nicobar Islands. There are plenty of number of islands are there in our country, especially in Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so these are the physiography of India. Once again I shall tell you the northern mountains. It is located in the northern part of India. The northern plains, just below the northern mountains we can see the northern plain region. Then the peninsular plateau region in the South India, including Karnataka, some part of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, southern part of Maharashtra, etc. Okay, the coastal plains including Goa, the coastal regions of Goa, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal. Okay, and these coastal regions are very important, and through these coastal regions, you know, once Vasco da Gama came to India through this coastal region. Okay, so this is very important. And in ancient times, you know, the business people were moving to and fro through these coastal regions of India. Okay, and in South India, you know, in Gujarat, Surat, in Maharashtra, Mumbai, Karnataka, Mangalore, in Kerala, Kochi and Calicut. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, Pondicherry, Yanam, Kolkata. These are the Kolkata is the capital of West Bengal. These are the important coastal cities of South India. Okay, or the coastal regions. Okay. Then the next one is the fifth one is the Indian desert. Okay, you know that the Sahara desert is the biggest desert in the world, whereas in India, when we come to India, in western part of India, including the some part of Rajasthan, majority part of Rajasthan and some part of Haryana and Gujarat, we can see the Thar desert. Okay, and the rainfall is very very less in Thar desert, whereas when we go to the eastern part of India, whereas when we move to the eastern part of India, especially Meghalaya, it is the highest rainfall receiving place in the world, a place called Mausin Ram. Earlier it was Chirapunji, now it is Mausin Ram. Okay, so these are the geographical features of India. And the last one is the island group, that is Lakshadweep and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, now let us focus on the northern mountains. The northern mountains. Okay, the majority part of northern mountains are located, that is Mount Everest is located mainly in India and Nepal. Okay, and the height of Mount Everest is 8,848 meters from the sea level. 8,848 meters from the sea level, and approximately we can calculate it as 9 kilometers. Okay, 8,848 meters we can round into 9 kilometers. Okay, so if we take the Himalayas and if we dip in the Pacific Ocean, Himalaya will dip under the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so that is the height of Mount Everest. And Mount Everest has three parts. The northernmost part is known as Himadri. Okay, and it is very very cool, and we can see many tourist points in the northern Himalayas, like Kulu, Manali. Okay, like that, many Nainital. These are the famous tourist spots in northern Himalayas. Okay, and according to the height, we divide in northern Himalayas into three categories. First we call it as the northern Himalayas, then second one is middle Himalayas, and third one is the Shivalik or the lower or lesser Himalayas. Okay, Himadri, Himachal and Shivalik. Okay, Himadri is the top and Himachal is the middle and Shivalik is the lowest part of the great northern Himalayas. Okay, the northern mountains of India. And remember, the height of Mount Everest is 8,848 meters, that is approximately 9 kilometers. Okay, we can round into 9 kilometers. And our northern Himalayas act as a natural frontier or natural wall, preventing from the neighboring countries, especially from China. Okay, and it also protect our country as a big wall, preventing from the blowing of cold winds which is blowing from the Central Asia and China. Okay, it is protecting our country from cold winds as well as from the enemies. Okay, so it is not easy to attack India from the northern part because of the presence of mountains. Okay, and the climate is also very very cool, and in winter season the climate will be extremely cool. Okay, now you know Jammu and Kashmir, these northern mountains are located on the part of, especially majority part are in Jammu and Kashmir. Now Jammu and Kashmir is not a state, it is a part of union territory. Jammu and Kashmir is divided into two parts, that is one is Kashmir and second one is Ladakh. Okay, and this northern mountain including Mount Everest is the birthplace of many rivers. like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna, Indus. All these many rivers are originating from the northern mountains, and later it is we can see many tributaries from the rivers. Okay, so it is flowing to the even into the middle, and some rivers are flowing to the southern part of India also. Okay, so that is the importance of Mount Everest or the northern mountains. Okay, so it gives us plenty of water, and it gives a cool and calm climate for the production of many crops. Just like in when we go to Assam, we can see because of the presence of these northern mountains, we are able to cultivate tea and coffee. Okay, many crops are being cultivated in these regions. Okay, so Himalayas gives us lot of rivers. Okay, and these rivers, when it flows to the northern mountains and plains, it makes the soil fertile, and many people are being settled nearby the river banks. Okay, and we will be studying more about the Indus Valley civilization and the presence of and the importance of rivers. Okay, which is being originated from the northern mountains. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about the physiography of India, the second geography chapter, and please read the chapter very well and try to understand more about the chapter. Till then, take care, have a nice day. Thank you.